I'm John DeSando.
Classics, let's go to the movies and share some popcorn, soda pop with our friends. Turn off our cell phones and get away. Night or day, it's John DeSando on the radio. We'll watch the credits from up high and low. Cinema Classics.
Cinema Classics is produced and hosted by John DeSando. Listen to shows Thursdays at 8:01 p.m. on WCBE 90.5 FM. And listen to shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando,
And I'm K G Kline.
and this is Cinema Classics. Now, I'll tell you, Ken, there's rarely more of a classic than The Wizard of Oz.
Oh,
Don't you
that's
think?
certainly
I think
true.
if there's anything you ask anybody about a classic, they'll agree.
If you ask anybody what movie have they probably seen more than any other movie in their life,
Right.
chances are it's The Wizard of Oz.
So it's going to be interesting to see a prequel. And they have Wicked, which is now called just Wicked, not Part 1.
Should be
Taking
called
the part
Wicked
one.
Part 1. Everybody should know before they're heading to the theaters, you're going to get Part 1. You have to wait until this time next year to get Part 2.
Holy God, it's a whopper.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, this is the big film. This is our billion-dollar movie this year. This is 2024's Barbie. And here's the good, the bad, and the ugly. The bad about this is a movie that really should have happened 20 years ago. I mean, the reason why Wicked, the musical, played for 3 straight years on Broadway to sold-out houses for 3 years, 3 years sold out, is not because of the story. The story is a convoluted mess trying to maintain continuity with the original Wizard of Oz. Sometimes it works, a lot of times it doesn't. It's also got the world's worst love triangle, completely unnecessary. Even Steve Schwartz said later on that he would have rewritten the Prince completely out of it if he'd had the chance. It's not really for the songs either. There's 2 memorable songs, Defying Gravity and Popular,
yeah.
and then you've also got a song at the end of the second act, Changed for Good. And beyond that, that's really the whole
But
story.
I know what you're going to say. It's these 2 chicks.
It was because of Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel and the chemistry of these 2 characters, Glenda and of Elphaba, and the audience gets to see these characters change and evolve before their eyes. That's what the real story is. This is a love story. Maybe not a romantic love story, but a love story just the same, between 2 very unlikely and completely different best friends who they're forced to grow and become mature. Glenda, of course, starts out, she's very vain, she's very
so spoiled.
Oh yeah, she is the self-centered princess. Elphaba arrives at the scene, she is shy, she's socially awkward, she's very insecure, she's also very, very damaged.
And how about very green?
And very green, and that's all part of it. And so the chemistry that we had in the Broadway show between Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel. Menzel stood 7 inches taller than Chenoweth and had that lanky, social, very awkward appearance to carry her in that role. Well, that movie didn't get made. We didn't get a recording of that production, and now we never will. It's a pity. So yes, this movie comes 20 years late, and now we have in this place Ariana Grande as...
And what a cutie
Oh
pie
yes,
she is.
and she steals this film.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I did see the original production back in 2004, and she is every bit as good as Kristen Chenoweth, and in some ways maybe even better. You can see a lot more transition with her than with Chenoweth. Chenoweth used to start the role very mean, whereas Ariana Grande starts this show kind of clueless, kind of ditzy.
Oh, she is.
Yeah. Instead of this being Mean Girls, Glenda, this is sort of Legally Blonde Glenda.
Yes.
And then we've got Cynthia
Yeah.
Erivo?
Revo, E-R-I-V-O.
Yeah, we have a Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba.
Yeah.
Tough shoes to fill. She does a great job. Is she Idina Menzel to me? No, she's not. For one thing, she's about the same height as Kristen Chenoweth, so we don't have the physical nature that Menzel brought to the role. But I love her very much. She is great in this. All told, this is a wonderful movie. This is a must-see movie.
Visually, it is spectacular.
Absolutely spectacular film, visually and for all the senses, for the ears. And now, I promised you the good, the bad, and the ugly, so we did the bad. Now let's do the ugly. The ugly is if this Thanksgiving weekend you decide you're going to pack the kids or the grandkids and go see Elphaba Flying on an IMAX screen, or listen to Glenda belt out Popular on a Dolby Atmos, you're not going to get to do it. This movie did not get the IMAX screens.
Right.
It did not get the Atmos. Those went to Gladiator 2. So at least for the first 2 weeks, Gladiator 2's got those screens
And
instead.
I think we agree that this is far superior to Gladiator 2.
Oh yeah, no, I expect that Gladiator 2 is underperforming, so I expect after about 2 weeks, IMAX is going to go over to Wicked, and you're going to finally get a chance to see Wicked in the IMAX.
Do they have a version?
Well, oh yeah, they have it. It's available for IMAX, but IMAX only go to one movie on opening weekend,
Correct, yeah.
and Gladiator 2 got it. So what's going to probably happen is the same. You remember the same thing happened in the summer of 2023 with Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Barbie was playing to sold-out theaters, but Oppenheimer got all the IMAXs and all of the Atmos theaters. And after 2 weeks, when Oppenheimer started dying off and Barbie was building momentum, Barbie finally got in and got the IMAX theaters for a couple weeks. And I think Wicked will do that eventually, but it's going to have to move out again when Nosferatu comes out.
Well, now, you're very optimistic about that. I love the original Nosferatu, and I love the Klaus Kinski version. And I can't believe this is going to be the equal of any of those, nor I can't believe that many people are going to go see Nosferatu.
The studio is betting that $200 million says you're wrong. They spent a lot of money on that Nosferatu.
I can't believe it.
And it is getting good advance work. It is getting good advance work. So I'm expecting it to be one of the other big contenders.
But do not expect that Gladiator 2 will have the gravitas of Oppenheimer.
Oh gosh, no.
You know, it won't. So if you're looking for that Barbenheimer or whatever they
Yeah,
call it,
Barbieheimer.
you're not really going to get it. You're just going to happen to get two tentpole
It
movies.
just happened that Gladiator 2 had snagged the Atmos and the IMAX theaters instead of Wicked, but that's going to probably change. I hope that changes.
And at this time, the theaters need this.
Oh
You know,
gosh.
what they call the tentpoles. They need it to help the smaller films that you and I like the one that I currently real pain, like a real pain. Nothing's even near though.
Oh no, something's got to keep the theaters in business. The theaters rely on something to sell out for a week, and they haven't had that yet this year.
No.
And they were banking on Wicked, and Wicked is delivering. So here we go. We've done the bad, we've done the ugly. Now we're going to do the good. The good is everything. Well, almost everything. The movie is visually stunning. It's going to be a masterpiece. You're going to sit back in your seat and your jaw is just going to hit the floor. They've recreated the sets of Munchkin Land and several of the other sets from the original film, but they've given them, they're brighter, they're more detailed, everything is more embellished. Just visually stunning film.
You will see the Yellow Brick Road.
You will see the Yellow Brick Road.
That stuffed man or the lion. You won't.
Well,
see
you do see the Cowardly Lion. It's the cub.
Do you?
It's the cub that she saves.
That
cub grows up
good
to
one.
be the Cowardly Lion.
one.
Yes. Steve
Remember,
Schwartz
this is a prequel.
Yeah, Steve Schwartz was very careful when he did the musical to tie everything together as best he could. Some of it works, some of it doesn't, but they tried. It's very convoluted. The other great thing you're going to see is you're going to see two wonderful actresses carrying this role and just completely embracing these characters, especially Ariana Grande. And that's not putting down Cynthia Erivo.
No.
It's just saying that Ariana Grande really captures this character and goes with it in the direction that I saw this character going. I just was spellbound by her. I think there's a good chance she may get nominated for Best Actress. I would love to see that happen. This movie is going to get a lot of nominations, including, I'm hoping, Best Picture. It should.
How's it doing at the box office?
It's doing phenomenal. Okay, so I actually had a hard time seeing this movie. When I usually I go to a certain theater.
Yeah.
The theater had started selling tickets well in advance. The whole weekend was sold out. We're talking 8 screens sold out for the whole weekend. So this is going to be $1 billion+ movie. I ended up having to go to a theater in Bexley, which just happens to be the one in town that's probably showing it right now on the biggest screen. And managed to sneak in and get the last.
It's the Drexel you're talking about.
It's the Drexel I'm talking
They have a
about.
bigger screen
They
then?
have a bigger screen than the small screens that it's playing at in the other theaters around town because it's not on the
Well,
IMAX.
I saw, and I'll mention it, I saw Lennox, which
Mhm.
has pretty good sized screens. You know, so that's a good sized screen,
Yeah.
but you're right. Many
This,
of the
this
others-
is a movie that you do want to try to make an effort to see in the biggest screen possible. And people are dressed up. I love this. Just like for Barbie, people are coming dressed in pink, or they're coming dressed in green. They're showing Team Glenda or Team Elphaba. A lot more pink than green, I will say that. But here's the thing here's the point of this. This story, in addition to being a love story between Glenda and Elphaba, again, not romantic love, but finding
Friendship, it's
a
friendship. yeah.
friendship that is as strong as a love interest.
Yeah.
This is also the story of how Elphaba rises from this insecure person, finds her own personal voice, and starts speaking out against a very fascist regime.
Played
and this-
delightfully
This movie is so timely right now.
by Jeff Goldblum.
By Jeff Goldblum as the wizard. Beautifully played.
All right,
Beautifully
K
played.
G Kline, well, I think we have things to talk about in our podcast.
We're going to have a big podcast,
Right.
folks, so
pe-
join us
so
for it.
people need to go to Double Take on the WCBE.org website, and also they can go on there and see your review.
They can.
And it's a very full review, it's much fuller than mine would ever be, and I enjoy reading them. So in that way, they can see that, and they can see our YouTube presentation and all that.
So I'll wrap this up by saying parents and grandparents, if you've got the grandkids for Thanksgiving weekend and you're looking for the movie to take them to, go see Wicked. There's something in there for everyone.
I'm John DeSando.
Classics, let's go to the movies and share some popcorn.